does one start a video of a 8-day tour of New Mexico, starting in Albuquerque, then with hot air balloons at sunrise in Albuquerque, and there they are. We are having lunch here at the Church Street Cafe, an old house built in the 1706s by one of the original families that found Albuquerque, by the Rios family, and it is lovely, very pretty, very scenic. And here's our lunch: taquitos and a half a sandwich and a salad. Day 2 of our Tauck tour begins at breakfast at sunrise, and it's a crispy morning. It's kind of cool. The morning begins with a tour of the Museum of Nuclear History. These are 2 hydrogen bombs that were dropped by accident out of a B-52 over Spain. And that's a B-29 that dropped the nuclear bombs on Japan. And this is a B-52, like the one that dropped the hydrogen bombs by accident. And a replica of the Trinity bomb drop tower. And that is a nuclear bomb artillery piece, not as big as I thought it was. The Indian Pueblo Cultural Center. Pueblo is a village. There are 19 pueblos in New Mexico.
My name is Francisco Antonio Miguel Niño de Ortiz Ladrón de Guevara. That's why they call me Cisco. Religious ceremony goes all day long. They practice for a week beforehand. They practice all day long. This is old, traditional, thousands of years handed down, generation after generation. So when they refer to the dance, they're not referring to a sock hop or the twist or anything. This is prayer in motion. They actually do these steps all day long in an effort to balance the universe.
Sunday morning finds us at the Pueblo of Jemez, located near Red Rocks. And this pueblo's name is Walatoa, pronounced accurately, not. This is a traditional oven taught to the Pueblo by the Spanish. Heat this up, put blankets over it, and cook the food inside the oven after the fire is put out. Now we are at Bandelier National Monument, and we're going to go look at the Estasi people ruins. Outside of the visitor center is a 1.4-mile loop. Going to look at the cliff dwellings. The Anastasi occupied this area from about 1150 to 1550 AD until the water ran out and they were forced to move. Yes. And the native sunflowers are in bloom. The trail winds steadily up at the beginning. And now, at last, I can see where we are heading, to the caves up that hill. Bandelier in the 1880s, talking to locals, was asked if he wanted to see where their ancestors came from, and he came and discovered this area. Looking down at the lower ruins, now come to lots of stairs.
40-foot ladder.
Keeps on going up and up, and as you go up, you can see the rooms going up and up the cliff. Utterly gorgeous from the top. It is hard to believe that women would go down every day to the creek and then carry water up those very steep, narrow paths. One last set of cliffed houses. This is the longhouse, which was built over the caves. These little holes are where they put poles to put the bricks and the mortar and the roofs. With one last look at the cave dwellings, it's back through the forest to the ranger station, museum entrance, whole loop about an hour if you move fast. We have a special lunch at Rancho de Chamayo in the middle of nowhere. Oh, it's in the town of Chamayo, with red peppers hanging from the eaves. We now go take a visit of the Taos Pueblo. Is walking only down this dirt road. Some Pueblo rules. There is no indoor plumbing or running water anywhere within the Pueblo or restaurant. And businesses have returned everywhere in the Pueblo. Maybe there are 30 people living here and about 100 people selling products here to tourists. And there are wild dogs wandering. The people are known as the Red Willow people. There's another section of the Pueblo. This is the original church built by slave labor by the Spanish in 1618 and destroyed during the Pueblo Revolution of the 1840s. The Taos Pueblo, as all the 19 Pueblos did, closed right at the start of COVID, adopting the Chinese philosophy of one case was one too many. And they really didn't want to fill the cemetery up either anymore. The Pueblo just reopened in September of 2022, and everything up to the top of that mountain is owned by the Taos Pueblo. These are ovens where all the flatbread and all the food that one can buy here at the Taos Pueblo is made. This is a typical home. Here's an example of the well-worn wall that needs refinishing. You can see the straw sticking out of the clay. And there are restricted areas where we cannot go for some unknown reason. This is a original multi-structural structure house. The people on the top have to use the ladders to get up to their home. A simple set of ladders nearby. You like the stills, Lulu, of Janice and I. Lulu took most of them. She does a marvelous job. And there's the Taos Church. Now we are at the Rio Grande Gorge, a rift created by the flow of waters from volcanoes and lava. And we'll be rafting down the Rio Grande tomorrow. So today is Tuesday, 20 September, the day after Queen Elizabeth was buried at Westminster Abbey in London. Now we are at the Taos Bridge drop-off point, where life jackets are required beyond that sign. We're at the edge of the Rio Grande River, getting ready to go floating for an hour and 15 minutes.
We've been doing whitewater rafting here for over 50 years, and these things I'm going to talk about have never happened on this trip. So if it does, congratulations. You're the
We are off.
Yep.
Here comes the first rapid.
Walked the river, jumped in, and it's pretty calm like this. It's about like this. So she swam up to the middle and then she went around without.
Walking car right here.
We got one more. We have casinos in our pueblo, but you know, with that, it still doesn't cover a lot of stuff. We are appointed And some pueblos actually get elected.
What is your relationship within the state government?
We work with the state pretty much.
You vote. You vote
yes,
for a
we do
senator.
Vote.
And
yeah,
all
we
that.
have to, because you know what? If we don't vote, we can. We're not going to get supported for certain things.
This is a pet turtle with deer hoofs, thing that Indian dancers wear at ceremonies. Getting out of the boats is no easy task, having sat down for about an hour and a half. The very long day drive from Taos to Santa Fe has us next stop at the George O'Keeffe Ghost Ranch. We're on Georgia O'Keeffe's Ghost Ranch in New Mexico, a former dude ranch where
Claims that he's not an artist.
incredible
And yet you
views.
should fall. And something spoke to her about that section of the wall, the almost radical cropping of the image with the sky almost
The flat top mountain
of church
and the original.
traded and highly prized by the different Native American tribes.
This ghost ranch is also the site of some of the oldest dinosaur fossils on the planet, when the dinosaurs just came out of the water, Triassic period. Day 6, Wednesday, sunrise, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Looking at the pretty volcanic cone just on the outskirts of town. We are now at the Santa Fe Plaza. Looking at the cathedral, and the bus is leaving. We are at the plaza, the heart of Santa Fe, the oldest capital in the United States, and also the highest capital at 7,200 feet in the United States. That's the government building. The novel Ben-Hur was written right behind that window there. Santa Fe is a small town of 85,000. They have 250 art galleries and lots of artists. There is a stone on the plaza that marks the end of the Santa Fe Trail. There are museums all over the city, especially near the square. This is the Museum of Contemporary Native Arts. This is St. Francis Cathedral, a cathedral basilica, meaning it's fit to be visited by the Pope. In the center of the arch in Hebrew is Adonai. What's the story here? Well, it's a complex one, as you might expect. When they were constructing this church, he ran out of money. And there was a Jewish merchant in Stubbs living down this street with a very successful shop. The priest went to Stubbs and said, "Will you lend us some money so we can build our basilica?" And Stubbs said, "How much do you need?" The priest said, $15 million. And Stubbs says, "I'll give you the money if you'll do something for me." And Stubbs said, "We have so few Jews we don't have enough to form a minyan." And the priest said, "We'll lend you priests to make up the minyan count." And the merchant, Stubbs, said, "And I need one more thing. Will you put a word in Hebrew on the entrance to the cathedral?" And the rest is history. This is the oldest house in Santa Fe. Everyone going to Los Alamos during World War II checked in right here and then was whisked off. If you had any business in Los Alamos during the war, you also came here to see Dottie, and then she would let you go to Los Alamos if she decided your need was great enough, in a private car. And with chanting and dancing in the Santa Fe Plaza, it's time to bring our Tauck tour to an end.
Bye.